Hello, my name is Adedoyin Jaiyesimi and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I want to share with you some tips on how to create a structure around your comms work in an organization. It is so important for us to work efficiently and effectively, especially if you find that you are the solo comms person within your organization. And if you're the only person managing comms in your organization, please, I beg of you, go and watch my video on that topic. I will put the link in the description of this video because that is not the ideal situation. So in that video, I talk about what to do in that scenario and how to steer the organization into the ideal so that they don't burden you with work and then you burn out. But anyway, please watch that video. For this video, however, I want you to start thinking about how you can create a structure that will allow you to do your work effectively, how you can also bring your other team members in other departments, bring them on board as comms champions, because it actually facilitates the ease of you doing your work within any organization. So I really hope that you will find these tips beneficial, and of course, you can tweak it to your own unique context. Now, the first thing you need to know is, where does comms sit within this organization? It's very important. Different organizations have their different structures. For some organizations, comms is sitting under legal. Let's not even go there. Some people or some organizations, comms is sitting under HR. For some, it is sitting under marketing. For some, it is merged under marketing. For some, comms reports directly to the COO. For some, it reports to the CEO. You really need to know where comms sits within the organization, because that will give you an idea of the legitimacy of that role, of the importance, and that is also going to help you in terms of building a right structure. If comms is sitting under legal or HR in your organization, there's a problem there, because comms cannot be reporting to legal and HR. But let me focus on the topic of this video. But yeah, understand, where does comms sit within this organization? What are the reporting lines? Where do I need to get buy-in? So that you can start thinking about, how does information flow in terms of decision making? How many layers are there? If I write a press release, if I create a communication strategy, how many layers of approval are needed? You really need to know all of these things as a foundation. The second thing is, you have to document your process flow. How do we do things within this department? What are the things that we do on a day-to-day basis? How can we create templates around those things? So if you're in an organization that does a lot of programs, maybe there's a lot of products, activation, community-related activities, you need to start creating a process flow and a template. So that, let's use an example from the development sector. If you have a programs team that continually goes to the field, you need to give them templates of the kind of information that you need them to bring back from the field that will be useful for your work. They can't just go, then come back, give you some summary that's not useful, has no value to what it is that you want to do, and then you start scratching your head. Then it becomes, oh, what's comms doing? No, you have to be able to equip them. If you are creating a program, an event, these are the steps. This is the template. Please fill out the details of this event, fill out the speakers, put the image, whatever it is, the core information. Let there be templates that they will fill. Let them have a process. So if you want to publicize a webinar, you're doing a webinar in your department, you need to give comms 5 working days notice, because you need to be able to have a schedule. This is very important if you're working in an organization where you're handling comms across like multiple business units or regions or whatever it is. There needs to be a process flow. You need to have order. So create that process flow. How do we do things? What are the things that we create? What are the activities that we do on a day-to-day basis, week-on-week basis? How can we create templates around these things so that it becomes plug and play? What that also does for you is that when new members come into the team, it's easy for you to tell them, hey, this is what we do here, this is how we do it, this is the process. Like how you will tell them about your style guide, your brand guidelines. That's the way this template will be very effective for you. After you create templates around your recurring outputs, please, you have to communicate it with the other departments. Now, this is not about sending them an email to say, hey guys, when next you want to have a webinar, make sure you fill this document, make sure you give us this notice. Make it something like it's a stand-up meeting, for example, where you will take them through the process, where you take them through how to complete the template. And then you can even also emphasize the importance, because sometimes if you send a general email, they'll just think, what's this all about? But if you're able to present present and train them and take them through whatever it is you want them to begin to adopt. Help them to see the reason and understand why. Then adoption is much easier. So please create those templates around your recurring communication output and communicate them to all departments, even your bosses. The next thing is you need to empower other departments and teams to adopt a communications mindset. When they go out to the field, when they're thinking about product design, they need to be thinking like communicators. And you can do this through training. Help them to see the communication angle. Help them to see the relationship angle. Help them to see the reputation angle of what it is that they're doing, because they have to bear that in mind. When you are working on a very sensitive project that has legal implications, the legal team would inform you. You kind of have a sense of, hey, there are legal implications here, confidentiality, this and that. What about comms? It is up to us to make sure that we train them, and that training cannot be a one-off training. It has to be a recurring thing where they are thinking about the communications perspective of everything they are doing within the department. If you do not train them, if you do not bring it to the forefront, they are not going to be able to imbibe it. Another thing that I find that really helps is having comms champions within this organization, because think about it, if it's a really big organization, getting people to even understand it might be a long thing, right? Getting people to be interested, getting people to, because you may feel like, these people are coming to give us more work. But if you find that there are one or two people within the departments that kind of get it, start with them, because they will become the champions. They can even become, quote and unquote, the gatekeeper or the quality control people that are in the conversations that they're having, highlighting the communication perspective. And the hope is that every other person adopts that mindset. The next thing is, please provide regular updates about what comms is doing. Whether they ask for it or not, you need to be telling them. If I see it as a news bulletin on comms this week, every Friday on comms this week, and list out what comms has done, what you have achieved, how you put the organization out there, how a particular program was spotlighted. Please show the things that you are doing in terms of your outputs and the outcomes, because at the end of the day, people need to understand that you are working as a department. Don't make assumptions that, they see and they feel the impact of what we are doing. No, make it a point of duty to inform them that this is what comms is doing. And if I were you, I would tie it to the things that I want to get them to imbibe. So if I'm able to show, hey, because we follow this process, because this person gave us an advance notice, we're able to pitch this event, we're able to pitch this program, and this is what it brought, this is the visibility, other people will sit up. So please put it in your structure. However you want to update them, it can be a video, like a carousel kind of post, a video with graphics and text, whatever it is. Make sure that you are frequently updating the different departments and even your senior leaders about what comms is up to every week. And tied to this is, when you report on what comms is doing, also spotlight and flag what other teams can do to be part of it. Because the truth is, I found that organizations, the different teams, they like their project to be spotlighted. They like their products to have some sort of visibility and awareness. So if we're able to facilitate that and you cooperate with me and I'm able to get this result, then everybody is happy. So as you spotlight your activities, also spotlight what they can do better. Because at the end of the day, this is about influence. How do you influence the people around you to go in the direction that you need them to go, that facilitates the ease and effectiveness of the work that you are doing? And the final point that I would like to share is, please do your best to make sure that comms has a voice in the decision-making rooms. Don't just leave it to chance. Make sure that you are advocating. Make sure that you are asking questions. And a quick way to do this is to seek opportunities for co-creation. So if a particular department, they are always there in the decision-making rooms, ask them questions. See opportunities where you can collaborate with them, so that when they're in those rooms, they are talking about comms to the point that they will say, comms needs to be brought into this room. Look, we cannot force our way into the decision-making rooms. We can only access it through value. So think about co-creation. Think about how you can leverage the current resources and the current people that you have to make sure that comms has a voice. It might not be your voice, but it might be someone else who is able to champion your cause within those decision-making rooms that open the door for you. Those are just some of the tips I'm able to share, but I really want you to know that it's important for you to create a structure. Don't just be doing things haphazardly. create a process around it. This is how we write press releases. This is how we create our content. This is how we deploy comms for an event. These are the templates. Everything that you do, create the templates around it, because honestly, I don't know how to emphasize this. It makes your life easier. For your recurring communication outputs, you already know them. Create a process for, and let me give you an example from the culinary world. If you want to make a meat pie, you can go and get a recipe online. If you follow that recipe and everything, because sometimes you follow the recipe and what comes out, I've tried some experiments in my life. But the point is, if you follow the recipe, follow the temperature, follow all of that great stuff, you would actually get your meat pie. There's a reason why people document. There's a reason why there are recipes. There's a reason why this is how we do things here, because other people can replicate, because it brings efficiency. It also means that it guarantees that you get the same results or the same outputs in the same kind of standard. I hope that I've preached this good message about the importance of creating some sort of structure around your communications team. And if I were you, as I create this structure, I would also begin to get buy-in from my leaders, so that when I'm implementing it, they are aware, so other people are quick to adopt and adhere to this structure that I've created. As always, if you have any questions concerning what I've said, if you're like, Adedoyin, I'm not really sure about how this would, work in my organization, let's talk about it. For me, I always say, what are the baby steps and things you can do, the little things you can do to make a difference? You may not be able to implement everything at once, but you will be surprised that one little thing that you do differently will make a key difference in terms of your efficiency and your effectiveness in your role. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.